Hello, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we thought we'd talk about the 1841 stamps of Great Britain, which are issued the year after the first stamps, the penny black and tuppenny blue. They gave up on the black printing because it was too easy to scrub the postmarks off. Good old Victorian engineering with tough ink. So they went for penny reds in 1841, where they could remove. It was more difficult for them to remove postmarks and whatnot, and so you know what I've got here, but you won't tell me what you've got there.
Well, I've got something pretty special. This is a On Her Majesty's Service wrapper from the General Post Office in Edinburgh. It's unaddressed, but it would have been to the postmaster of whichever town. It's a circular that would have been sent to every post office within the country, basically telling them about the new stamps and envelopes that were coming out. Now, inside here, look at that. We have an intact Postmasters notice displaying the penny red, the tuppenny blue with white lines added, but it's from the trial plate of just 12 impressions that were made just for these notices.
That's incredible.
With blank corner letters there. Also the penny stationery envelopes that came out in the same year in two different sizes.
The penny pinks, isn't it?
Penny pink envelopes.
Yeah.
So we're going to put these under the glass now.
Oh, it's clean too.
I know, it's as fresh as the day it was printed. So we're just going to have a look at this now. Now, what's interesting about this, there's some funny little things hidden away on this that to the unseeing eye straight away you wouldn't notice. First of all, on the two penny pink envelopes at the top there, the small format one on the left side, normally these envelopes have a silk thread across the upper left corner.
You can see it on this one. Yeah.
Now on this one it's been miscut and the silk threads are actually on the back, on the flap.
I'm going to zoom in on this. Hold on a sec. Forgive my camera work. Okay.
So as you can see in the upper right corner there is no silk thread, which were added to all these envelopes as a security measure to basically rule out forgery and cleaning and all sorts of things, reuse as well. So that one doesn't have it, very unusual. And then on the corresponding upper right corner, this is the larger format penny envelope, it unusually has a double strike of the embossed stamp in the corner there.
Oh yeah, I can see the extra circle there.
And they've both got the red specimen overprint on them, almost a double impression. Now the other thing that's quite unusual about this particular example, of which very few are known, is that both the penny red and the tuppenny blue are very fresh and have 4 margins. Now a lot of these bear damaged stamps, and this one is absolutely pristine.
Oh,
now as I said, the tuppenny blue comes from a trial plate that was done while the 1841 tuppenny blues were still at the printers and they couldn't get them out in time to affix to these. Now Vincent, have you got
now you know what I've got here.
That?
I've got a complete example. I'll just hold it up to one camera here.
Wow.
There we go, and then I'll put it under the camera. I've got a complete sheetlet, if you like, of 12 trial tuppenny blues. There you go. Look at that.
Remarkably fresh again.
Yeah, I thought I'd have you beaten with this, but that postal notice is wonderful. As you can see, it's got blank corner slugs there, and this is not the normal format, which obviously was 12 by 20, 240 stamps, £2 for an entire sheet. How inflation's raged. And they only made this format up so they could cut them up for the postal notices.
And interestingly, that they didn't have gum on them, so they had to glue them on individually.
Yeah, let's have a look at the back of that. I don't
And then the next thing...
Oh, look, you can see
see
it's got postage
yes,
watermark.
you've got the marginal watermark, but if you notice, I don't know whether you can see on the camera, but it's the crown watermarks are placed
Oh yes,
on the
between the
margins
stamps.
between each pair of stamps.
Ah, that's weird. Yes,
So
yes.
it's very unusual.
We'd think that was a real variety if it was on a normal stamp.
Yeah, indeed.
Let me flip that back. So, of course, that's the Tutney Blue.
But the freshness of both these items is just incredible considering how old they are.
Yeah. And isn't it lovely?
Mm.
And I'm going to expand the camera now to include a little group of the penny reds, which show why they are so popular amongst collectors. There we go. Right underneath, we've got the penny reds, and these all have unusual cancellations. This has picked up a 2 hand stamp. This has picked up a Strasbourg in France cancellation. This has picked up an instructional marking, return for better directions. Somebody probably put Mr. Jones, the blue house at the end, as people used to address in very strange ways back then. And right here, this stamp has the OXO numeral cancellation for the British Army Post Office in the Crimea, which was fighting in the Crimea was raging when these stamps were being used. And so you've got not just got the beautiful stamps themselves, but because this was 1841 and highly controlled cancelling of these early issues hadn't settled in. There were plenty of instructions to postmasters, but all sorts of strange stuff was happening. So it's a fabulous theme to try and find different cancellations on the 1840 and 1841 imperforates. So I'll go back to the main camera because there's a couple of decent books.
Yeah, we both obviously love line engraved issues. There's a couple of essential books here that you may want to consider purchasing and reading. One of the best ones on the cancellations by Danzig and Goldsmith there is just on the 1841 penny red cancellations. It lists every known usage when it was done, from the obscure, different types of Maltese cross, town cancels, everything you can imagine, coloured postmarks and all the rest of it. They give a scarcity rating and prices, which of course well out of date now, but still very useful. The other great book, of course, is the Stanley Gibbons, the first volume of Queen Victoria, which just covers the line engraved. And again, for each section they give a good listing of cancellations on the Maltese crosses and town marks, Wessex cancels and all the rest of it. Can't recommend those enough.
No, that's right. I can't believe you've actually got the original
It's
outer wrapper
fabulous,
for
isn't
that
it?
thing. I've never seen that before.
It literally is as fresh as yesterday when it was printed.
That is what you want. It's.
Yeah.
I think it's the second Postal Notice that bore adhesive stamps.
Yeah. It's a shame there's no album pages to fit it.
No, but I didn't even know they had those, and it's so clean, and these are nice 4 margin ones too, which is lovely. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and if you've got any comments, well, please make them below. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.